heart rate variability or R-to-R interval analysis. Connect the recording electrodes to channel 1 inputs of the amplifier. The ECG is displayed in the top window. The horizontal red line is the trigger level. Adjust the level for optimal triggering. Start recording the data. The system will automatically collect signals for 60 seconds or 1 minute. Epochs of 5 seconds are also shown in the bottom window with trigger on the first QRS complex. This makes it very easy to recognize the variability in the heart rate. The instantaneous heart rate is plotted in the graph. This also makes it easy to recognize variation in the heart rate. We have completed recording the signal for 1 minute. The results are shown in the table, but we'll discuss them later. We are now ready to record the variability using paced breathing at 6 breaths a minute. Push the next trace key so that this data is saved. And let's turn on the metronome. This will assist the patient to breathe at 6 breaths a minute. Then start collecting data. We have now collected 1 minute of data. We will turn off the metronome. The result graph shows very nice variation in heart rate with breathing. Let's look at the result table. I'm going to maximize it by clicking on this icon. There are many different measurements. Let's start with the simple ones. The minimum heart rate or beats per minute was 53 at resting and 47 with paced breathing. The maximum value was 77. The mean heart rate over 1 minute period was 60 with resting and 58.6 with deep breathing. Using the instantaneous heart rate, we can also calculate the standard deviation of heart rate, which was 6.06 and 7.23 milliseconds. The variance of heart rate is often calculated as the ratio of mean value to standard deviation, and this was 10.1 and 12.3. Note that the variance increased with paced breathing. There is significant variability in quantitating the variability of the heart rate. Some laboratories like to use the maximum to minimum ratio. We haven't implemented that as yet. However, one can calculate that ratio quite easily, for example, by using calculator and enter the value manually. So for example, for the resting, the ratio of maximum to minimum was roughly 1.5. Click into the box and type the result manually. And then for the second one, it was probably 1.65 or so. This way, the ratio of maximum to minimum can be entered into the result table. Sometimes we may get so-called ectopic beats, or we may get very high or very low rate because of noise and interference that triggers the sweep. Such data points can be excluded from analysis. As example, let's say that I want to reject this very low value of heart rate. Right click and that will remove this data point. Or I can remove this data point. To re-include those points, place the mouse in that vicinity, right click and re-accept the data. In this example, we presented the variability in the heart rate. It is also possible to configure the result table to show the variability in the units of R to R interval. If you want to make additional recordings, simply push the next trace key and record more data. Then exit the test.